Let's do Google's 100 bond, and then we'll do the Q&A.
Oh, okay.
100 year bond.
100-year bond. This is normally a sign I don't like. Let's do a deeper breakdown of it next week. I'm not as concerned, and historically,
Yeah.
just because someone has issued a bond. Maybe if this was Apple, I would be way more concerned. To be very honest, if it was Disney, I would be way more concerned. But there's a finito, right? If this is DraftKings,
over. No, it's over.
it
It's
would
not
be
even
over.
it's done.
But I think Google is so primed for the next 3 or 4 years, I wouldn't have as much concern. But I think it would take more than 3 or 4 minutes to go over. So I would like to cover that next week.
Yeah, that is we have the money. We want to have the capital now to help pay for the things that we're going to spend on.
Yeah.
Simplest terms, but yeah, we can go over it in more detail.
Let's do a couple minutes of Q&A. SoFi, somebody in the chat had asked about SoFi.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a breakdown on it. I'm gonna do a whole thing on it so people can, because I get asked that question a lot. SoFi.
It's probably the number one question.
Yeah, the obsession with SoFi is very interesting. I'm like, fintech, okay.
I get the premise, but
yeah, I'm opportunity is what I'm looking at. This is Millennium Investor asked, do you believe Caterpillar or GEV to hold for 10 years like we did Lilly? It's a really good question.
It's a great question. Easy answer, yes, for Caterpillar. Caterpillar was a great company before AI.
Caterpillar was a great company before AI. It's a Dow 30 company. AI, I always talk about when a company can see where the future is headed and can pivot and make profit.
Timely,
right?
Yep.
So can they see where the future is headed? Can they see what they offer? Can they pivot, make profit, generate revenue from where they see the future? They've done that with the turbines. They understood that they had the infrastructure to do it. They figured we're going to need energy at a fast rate. How can we get these things online in the fastest way possible? Those turbines actually couldn't have happened at a better time. I think that story doesn't change. Caterpillar was a great company before then. It'll be a great company.
Yeah.
GEV will be a company for sure for the next 10 years. I thought you were going to start with that. Man, they just expanded again. And when we covered them maybe in November, I talked about the reason why I love them as a leader in terms of the AI energy play is because their international exposure, right? They're not just a U.S. thing. They were talking about in Saudi. They're expanding throughout the world. They're ahead of the game, and I think they're going to be the leader. I think they've already shown to be a clear winner thus far in the race in terms of AI and energy efficiency. I think that doesn't change. I think they just expand on it, and people will be watching how they did it to then say, okay, how do we partner with them? Because they're going to be vital in this space. So I like both of them for 10-year plays.
The interesting part about Vernova, though, even from a price and a mathematical, like price dispersion modeling scenario, they don't go up so much like how Palantir may have shot up a certain percentage and you're due for a pullback. The July quarter went from 493 up to 668. Following quarter was 541 up to 709. And this quarter went from 618 to a high of 846. So it's not like the probability of math is so high. It's not like they went up 900%. So you are overdue for a correction like MicroStrategy did. Even just on a price basis, they have done a great job at steadily increasing and not so much so where all the asymmetry is going against you. So yeah, Vernova and Caterpillar are great. But on a price discovery side, Vernova's done a great job of giving great gains, but not so much where it has to peel back and draw down 40 and 50% at a time in a quarter.
Very, very similar to having a mother company and then branching off, right? So GE, General Electric. But we watch this with Western Digital and SanDisk, right? Like, hey, we have this vertical inside the company. Let's have its own IPO, and both have turned out really well.
Yeah, it's worked well.
Yeah. Good question. What else we got? Damn, I'm way behind.
Strategy
a buy.
I'll give you a quote. I'll give you a quote and then you answer the question.
Okay.
What will you do if you continue on this debt trajectory? Oh, we'll just refinance the debt. Well, what if it gets to 8? I don't think it'll get to 8. And we don't see it getting to 0. But we'll refinance it. Will there be banks that will be willing to do that? I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's Michael Saylor on CNBC. What think it's a buy right now?
Not my favorite commentary. I mean, if anything, you get into a place where it's dropped 75%, maybe at 83 if you never were in it. But a lot of you were in at 250, 270, 310, and I've screamed this and everyone said I was crazy. You can have a great asset, but refinance it or restructure the debt horribly so it doesn't go in your favor. And also, I keep saying Michael has a set of enemies that are incredibly tough to beat. So, no.
The average consensus price target is still $400.
Mm-hmm.
So
he has to change some things in how he's leading this charge in order. Once again, if you're putting 1,000 or 5,000 in, if you are a liquid millionaire, are you putting $700,000 in at 271 or 407? It would be a mistake. If it drops a little, like even now, it's at a good price because it's 75% off from the high. It's 135.90. So it depends on percentage of net worth that you're putting towards it. And I told Stock Club this last year, like our low to boat price, I won't say, but it was somewhere in this area, and it was this price last summer. So it's just really about where you want to buy the asset. I think he'll be fine, but he definitely needs to buy at better prices and not have so much debt as we're going into an economic collapse. But what do I know?
Somebody said, Ian, why no mention of Apple getting QAI?
Because it's not a significant enough development in order to move the needle. It's a great start, but it's like I'm sure at some point Ronnie Cycli was a great addition to the Miami Heat, but Ronnie Cycli, shout to you, was not getting them to the fucking finals. It was even at the Siri update got delayed from what I got told. It's going to be delayed to July now. It's supposed to be out next month. So it's a decent addition, but it's not the piece. It's not a generational talent. It's not Giannis. It's not Luka. It's not Jokic.
QAI specializes in facial recognition technology.
Mm-hmm.
Why Apple?
They could have bought the Claude bot. Fucking Apple, man. Fucking historic misses in every area. Yes, I know the revenue high. Y'all don't give me the spiel. I'm talking in AI. Miss after miss.
Yeah.
Then the liquid glass, not bad. Shout out to the team who worked on that, but it's just miss after miss. And for those who they're normally a laggard. The one thing I will say, they haven't done so much CapEx spend that the return on investment thesis won't be able to be delivered upon, but I hate that they haven't deployed the right capital to acquire the right people at the right time. That is like they would benefit the most from the ecosystem. But it is what it is.
VRT?
Yeah, everybody's big on VRT. I mean, they reported they blew out earnings. The future guidance was great. This is a company that we talked about, especially, and we should probably post that picture when we were inside of NVIDIA and they showed us the actual rack. They showed us Rubin, and I remember pointing. I'm like, yo, you see that copper over there, right? You see those tubes that surround it? Even when we were inside the garage, like that's what Vertiv does, right? Like if these GPUs don't stay at a regulated temperature, they will not function. And if they don't function, you won't be able to have your prompts. Like none of that will work if there's not liquid cooling as of now inside of those racks. And so Vertiv is one of the companies that provides liquid cooling. They beat their earnings. I think we're in, let me check right now. I'm gonna look at the portfolio really quickly. We're in the 135 call for next January. Yeah, we smoked that one. Yeah, that's a 250%. Yeah, we've been in Vertiv for a while. We've been talking about it for a while. Again, when you understand the story, it becomes very clear. If they're saying that, hey, we're going to put 3,000 racks inside this data center and they're going to be with the GPUs, then we know that company is going to have revenue. Why? Because the chips need to be cooled. So yeah, shout out to everybody that was in VRT. It was a great one. Until we hear new technology, I know Microsoft was saying that they're going to actually have cooling inside of the chip itself and won't need liquid cooling operations like what Verta provides. Until then, yeah, it's a company that is definitely going to be needed in the functionality of the AI data center story.
All right, it's been real.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else we need to talk about?
Somebody asked, what do I think about the single stock futures that will be coming out to be traded later this year? The volatile ones are going to have way more volatility. You're going to have to practice. It's not going to be easy. But I think it's a brilliant way to get exposure and not be left behind, because the futures market and options market are definitely competing. And with all the innovation that's coming out of options, I can see the futures market trying to push forward. But it's going to be tough. You get your practice trades in order, for sure.
Yeah, so we talked about Cadence earlier. They'll be reporting tomorrow. I would be watching that. If you're interested in that story, I'd be watching that to see if they pull back. Obviously, that news with Synopsys getting the NVIDIA contracts. We'll see how it impacts the revenue and the future guidance for Cadence. That'll be interesting. We haven't talked about cybersecurity in a while. Maybe next week we'll talk about it, because that's been taking a hit. Palo Alto reports tomorrow after close. We got after close on Wednesday. We got DoorDash, Carvana, Coke, Booking, which is one of those ones that just keeps running. After close on, we got Walmart Thursday. That's a big one.
Hello, Hefe.
Yeah, Walmart will be there. Wayfair. So we got Etsy. Some of those I guess we can't call them pandemic stocks anymore. And they had a nice run. And then Open Door. Open Door is interesting. Everybody has. I feel like there's so much talk about Open Door. They haven't really done the deep research inside it. I just keep hearing the name being brought up. But they'll be reporting on Thursday after close as well.
Good CEO, like great mind. Tough category to be in.
Yeah, and then we know what next week is. Circle the 25th, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. NVIDIA will be reporting on the 25th.
Juan Shot asks, who do I learn futures from? Your own discipline. But if you on this show asking that question, but you're going to learn from your own discipline. So lock in next 90 days. Don't miss a day.